First at 5. 10 News with Mal Walden and Jennifer Hansen.
Tonight, a breakthrough in the Christmas Island boat people crisis as the Navy takes them on board.
Studio heartbreak. A $2 million blaze destroys a film production house.
And footy fever steps up a notch with finals tickets going on sale.
Also tonight, an off-duty policeman slashed in a car park attack.
But first, the Tampa passengers are finally on the move. The federal court in Melbourne has allowed their transfer to an Australian Navy ship after a marathon legal battle.
For the past 8 days, the Good Samaritan ship Tampa has been the centre of a humanitarian storm over the fate of its unwelcome human cargo of more than 400 asylum seekers. As a stiff breeze buffeted the freighter just off Christmas Island today, the federal court in Melbourne was preparing to throw a lifeline.
I want to congratulate the parties for reaching what seems to be a very humane solution.
I welcome the fact that progress is at last being made in providing what I hope will be a proper solution for this very difficult issue.
That solution allows the would-be refugees off the container ship and onto the troop carrier HMAS Menorah. The naval vessel will then begin heading for Port Moresby, but the court is still to adjudicate on whether the foreign nationals have a right to have their pleas heard in Australia.
And if our case is successful, then the government has undertaken to bring them back and have them processed. And all along, that's all we have sought.
But the Commonwealth Government will continue to fight tooth and nail against that.
The application has no legal basis and we continue to oppose it vigorously.
The first scientific opinion poll since the crisis began, the Quadrant poll, put support for John Howard's handling of it at 60%. Certainly the Prime Minister didn't spare the opposition today, accusing it of flip-flopping all over the place and contradicting itself. Labor returned the compliment in spades.
What we have is a bungled operation. We have policy on the run and a very costly exercise. We still don't know how much.
The Norwegian shipping company is mightily relieved. It had felt deserted by Australia, but warns a similar humanitarian crisis is sure to reoccur.
We hope that this is the last time. We don't think it will be. If this does occur again, it will be a more expeditious process.
The Tampa will set sail for Singapore, its original destination, tonight. It hopes to recoup its multi-million-dollar losses from its insurers. Paul Bongiorno, 10 News.
And 10 News reporter John Hill has been watching today's developments from Christmas Island. He reports on the transfer of the asylum seekers, which is expected to happen at any moment.
On Christmas Island, relief from everyone involved in the crisis that it's finally coming to an end. The original plan to dock the ships together at sea was ruled too risky, the Army deciding instead on carrying the illegals between the two vessels on flat-top barges.
It could take 4 to 6 hours to transfer them all safely. Obviously, to get the women and children down the gangway first is going to be a slow process. Going up's one thing, but coming down's another. So they're all in good health. And they're all in good spirits.
This remains a military operation. For legal reasons, civilian harbour workers were replaced by SAS troops driving the barges. Both ships are 500 metres apart, drifting slowly with the current in a wind gusting up to 20 knots. Once aboard the Menorah, the asylum seekers will have access to hot showers and will receive a hot meal. Bedding and supplies have been ferried out by helicopter to the naval vessel over the past 2 days. The asylum seekers are said to be happy and relieved to be finally leaving the Tampa. In front of them now, a voyage to Port Moresby, which is expected to take about 6 days. John Hill, 10 News, Christmas Island.
Heartache tonight for the owners of a South Yarra film production company with a $2 million fire destroying their business. State-of-the-art equipment and years of hard work went up in flames early this morning.
The blaze took hold in a corner recording studio soon after 2:30 this morning. Fire crews alerted by 17 emergency calls from late-night revellers on Chapel Street. Flames quickly spread through the first-floor editing and sound businesses, Planet X and Gusto Music, destroying state-of-the-art equipment as distraught owners watched helplessly.
We had a feature film in one of the systems. We actually digitised an entire feature film on a new piece of equipment. We just spent $750,000 on.
The lifetime of work destroyed was too much for Gusto Music's owner, as fire crews helped salvage what they could from the ruins.
It's completely back to the drawing board. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what we do from here on.
The blaze leaves up to 20 employees out of work.
It's a big blow for all of us. We all feel that this is our company. We've all lost something really big and very important.
I'm probably still in shock. We've lost an awful lot the last up to 6-7 years of work.
Boutiques on the ground floor sustained smoke and water damage. Fire investigators have ruled out arson. Stephanie Taylor, 10 News.
The state government has withdrawn its wage offer in the police pay dispute. But in a dramatic bid to revive negotiations, the union has withdrawn its threat to escalate industrial action.
Only minutes after the 1 p.m. deadline ticked over, the police minister was on the front foot.
Hey, we're not patsies. We're not, this isn't, we're not going to be used as doormats. We put out an offer that was extremely generous.
The government following through with its threat to withdraw its pay deal and send the row to the Industrial Relations Commission.
I think it's about time the umpire came in and settled this. We have bent over backwards to try and settle it amicably.
But the Police Association says the government has acted hastily. As the minister was making his announcement, the union withdrew its threat of new industrial bans next week.
It's a sign of good faith that we want to settle this dispute, not only on behalf of our membership, but the community.
In a last-ditch bid to resolve the pay dispute, the police minister called on the association to have the row settled by an independent mediator. But both parties couldn't agree on the proposal. The sticking point, the union's refusal to drop its existing Phase 1 industrial bans.
This isn't a movable feast. We had a deadline today in terms of our offer. It's not. They've got to understand we mean what we say.
But the union says it's happy to have a mediator.
It's government who are weak in not coming to the table and doing the hard yards of negotiation. We could have done that through the mediation process.
Gareth Boreham, 10 News.
Well, finals footy fever is here once again. Football fans snapping up thousands of reserved seats as tickets for this weekend's qualifying and elimination finals went on sale around the nation. The biggest queues were for the only all-Melbourne match between Essendon and Richmond.
It's become a familiar sight this time of year at Windy Hill. Hordes of Bomber fans queuing for their chance to be there as their heroes make another premiership assault. Despite dropping 3 of their past 6 games, Essendon fans believe the wait for finals tickets will be worth it.
Of course it is. Yes, they'll win on Friday night.
But all was not well among the Bomber faithful. With the average time spent in the queue nudging 5 hours, many weren't happy at the practice by some people of using chairs to hold their place in the queue.
Probably about 100 odd chairs here when I got here at 5:45 this morning, so there's only a handful of people here.
And the most excitable fans this final series are the Richmond supporters, who are making the most of the fact that the yellow and black is back.
Oh yeah, it feels great. I mean, we've been waiting plenty of years. I've been following Richmond for about 15 years myself, and yeah, it feels great to finally line up and get some finals tickets.
The Tigers' last finals win coming against the Bombers in the 1995 second semi.
We're back. We're back.
The yellow and black is back. AFL and club members are being given first crack at the tickets for this weekend's qualifying and elimination finals. Any remaining tickets will then be made available to the general public from Wednesday. Cameron Bowe, 10 News.
And having won our footy tipping by just 1 point, here's Stephen.
Thanks, Mal. The first week of the finals have kicked off with a new wave of controversy, injuries and form reversals. During